大家好. Hi, everyone. How do you turn your pain into something beautiful? It was 3 years ago. I trusted one person and I lost most of my savings. Even though I had a contract, it didn't matter. I didn't tell my family and my friends back home. I wanted to see how I could stand on my feet again. I was going on longer rides with my bicycle, walking for kilometers to save the money, and skipping dinner for many nights. But there was this one potato salad in the Japanese supermarket next to Jingan Temple. I was only able to stare at it. It was expensive, 30 renminbi. I was that broke. But a couple weeks later, I gathered 30 renminbi made up of all coins. I went straight to the supermarket. You should have seen my face while I was grabbing my potato salad. It was gonna be my dinner, finally. I went to the cashier, gave all my coins, broke again. I went straight to my bicycle, put it in my bicycle's basket carefully, and I started to cycle. But it felt like I was flying. I was cycling so fast that I didn't see the bump on the road. As I jumped, saw that my potato salad, and it fell down right in the middle of the street. I'm like, no. I was going so fast that I couldn't stop right away. I pulled aside a bit further, and I looked back. I'm like, it's still one piece. I can still eat it. It was a busy street. I was on Jiaozulu, close to Wudinglu, 2 minutes away from my house. I'm like, I need to get it. I'm hungry. And I walked up to get the potato salad. I was close, getting closer, and I realized that there was a car coming from the right with all the lights on to warn me. I stepped back, watching the car smashing my potato salad all over the street. I'm like, I stood back up. I started yelling Chinese, English, Turkish, gibberish. I didn't know what I was saying. It was just not making sense. But there was nothing to do. Now, you might ask me, Evrim, why do you do it to yourself? I went and sat down on the pavement like that. And I said, Evrim, why do I do it to myself? Leaving all the comfort behind and now struggling. Why do we, as expats, people who work abroad, do it to ourselves? I'll get back to that question later. But I have young audience here, so I want to tell you that to live abroad, especially in China, there is some everyday challenges, right? Like that dialogue. You take a cab, it's a busy street, it's always busy in Shanghai. You're so happy because, 20 other people were trying to get that only cab that you're in now. And the taxi driver goes like that. 你去哪里呀? And you're like, I'm going to do it right. You say, 我要去北苏州路. I want to go to 北苏州路. And then you look at the taxi driver. He seems confused. He's like, and then the word comes, 什么? I'm like, no. So you go all the four tones. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In my case, it's still my problem. But it's not just that you only go through, right? There are some more serious challenges, sacrifices that are to be made, but less spoken. Like these, making friends. We feel alone among crowds. We see our parents on Skype. I have a friend who does Skype with his baby, and he's worried whether the baby believes that he lives in the computer or not. And when you get sick, sometimes it's hard to tell the doctors what's wrong with you. We have problems, housing problems. I'm going to tell you the story. Language, culture. You miss your parents, you miss your family. You miss the food of the culture, of your culture. You get lost all the time. And the potato salad story. And there are some people that they lose their beloved ones and they're away, and that's so much pain. So there are 230 million expats around the world going through similar problems. And 900,000 are living in Shanghai. And 209,000 are in Shanghai. Now, China and Shanghai. Now, as one of them, sitting on that pavement with the same question. Why do I do it to myself? At that time, I still didn't have any regrets of coming to Shanghai. Why would I? Starving? Fine. But being an expat means new experiences, new challenges, having a different perspective, feeling liberated, learning about new cultures, new countries, new people, new languages through people, having limitless opportunities. That's why we do it. Now, still on that pavement, I'm thinking, I'm digging now, I'm saying that, all right, how can I increase the advantages and decrease the negative sides? I wanted to meet similar-minded people living close to me. I looked around. There were so many foreigners passing by without saying hi to each other. I said, these are my people. We all go through similar problems, yet we feel alone. It shouldn't be this way. I said, wait, similar-minded people living close to me? Here you go. I wanted my neighborhood connections here too. See, I'm coming from a culture where neighborhood bonds are very strong. In Turkey, when you move into a new apartment, your neighbors welcome you. They bring you food. They offer help if needed. I said, it's time to trigger neighborhood movement here in Shanghai with expats to create a better world, to start knowing what's happening around the city, starting from our neighborhood. I believe that when you have an idea, you shouldn't just sit on it. You have to take massive action. The next day, I started to approach people. I literally talking to people everywhere, starting on my floor, in the elevator, in my apartment, in the compound, in the garden, on the street, in the supermarket, at the traffic lights. I was observing people, whether they were just passing by or actually living there. If I was seeing them often and often, I'm like, okay, so these are my people. I was going and approaching them. I was asking, hey, where do you live? Are you living around here? And I got amazing reactions. Some guys, they said, why do you ask? Do you want to have a dinner or something? I'm like, wait, don't get me wrong, dude. I just want to create this group. And guys, in 90 days, I got 90 people getting together, helping each other. People found their traveling buddies, running buddies, roommates. They move into new apartment together. Now, close your eyes, please, everybody, and imagine you're living in a foreign country. Close your eyes. And you're cycling on your street. You see familiar faces. You throw smiles at each other. You walk into your favorite restaurant, and the waiter says, hey, welcome back, great seeing you, and brings your soup without asking, he knows. And walking back home, you run into your neighbors and making plans for the evening. You're living still in a foreign country, yet surrounded by amazing people, your support circles, your neighborhood connections. Now, here we go, house problems, right? One day, I was in my living room watching a horror movie, my friends call horrible movie, with my roommates. In the movie, there was a guy breaking into an apartment. And at that moment, actually, there was somebody in our apartment opening the front door and walking in and then turning us, looking at us, and just staying there. We reached the lights, turn it on, and we're like, dude, who are you? He said, I'm the landlord. Who are you? And we're like, hey, you are not the landlord. Bobby is our landlord. And what's going on? He said, Bobby is my tenant. And where is he? We're like, we live here. He's not here. And he probably understood what was happening. And he said, well, as he's not living here, I don't know you, I'm going to get the cops and I'm going to get my apartment back from you. And then he left. We're like, what just happened? That's a knot. Week later, it turned out that he was right. Cops came and we learned that our contracts, it was not valid. It couldn't get any worse, right? But it did. We got kicked out and lost our deposits. But the beautiful part was, one couple from my neighborhood connections, They opened up their house for me. They gave me a room. They made me so comfortable. They helped me to carry my stuff across the street. I cooked them Turkish food. We had great time. Isn't it beautiful? Now, guys, the important thing is, at some point, my friends from different districts, they start to find me. They said, Evrim, we want to join. I'm like, you can. It's for Jing'an, people for here. And they said, okay, well, that's bad. And then I realized that what I was doing was working. It was solving a problem, and people value it. I said, I can't limit it with Jing'an. I have to spread it to whole Shanghai. I went on a platform, and soon Expat Neighbors was born. Now, soon after, returnees, Chinese people who've been abroad, studied, worked, and came back, but missed their international connections because of the reverse culture, they started to join us. Afterwards, businesses, global and neighboring businesses, they heard about us. They realized how important it is to be in touch with their neighbors. And here you go. Neighborhood elements were coming together. All three, we were having amazing time. And now, we are in 11 districts in Shanghai with a unique community of 3,000 people exploring their expat life through their neighborhood connections. We do district dinners, we do a lot of things, and this is till now. We hold 135 events, and still we're doing it. Now, this is us in action. District dinners, people get together, they know each other, people found their ideas. Here is one of the district dinners. People started to exchange their resources. They found their people, the people that they can hang out with, their best friends. We celebrated birthdays. Lily, are you here? We celebrated our birthdays together. People found business connections, business partners. They even found a business idea, brainstorming in our district dinners. Here we have Nick. Nick, are you here? People found connections, running buddies, traveling buddies, cat sitters. They found a working refrigerator to put their cake in. We found amazing things. They found second-hand scooters, apartments with better prices. Look at here, picnics. We were having so good time. Living in a foreign country, still surrounded by amazing people. Now, when things got tough, people helped each other. In September, I was driving my scooter, going 30. With 30, I thought that I will be safe. Minutes later, I was up in the air. A car came out of blue, hit me, and I was flying, flipping, and landed on the floor, hit my head hard, and I was dragged under the bus, huge wheels of a bus, and got out alive, second chance. But it was hard, because nobody came to help me. There was a circle, but I felt horrible, except a foreigner who was just passing by. He helped me to call my friends, my expat neighbors. One of the expat neighbors ran to the hospital. She was in the ambulance holding my hand and helping me. Two other expat neighbors ran to the emergency service. They brought me chocolate, ice cream, Nutella. Amazing combination for the emergency service. People called me. They brought me flowers and food. It was amazing. Now, here is the thing. 3 years ago, I was nobody. I came to Shanghai without knowing the life, the culture, the people here. All I had was a suitcase in my hand and knowing that my heart was looking for something special. It was amazing to be out of your comfort zone. It's great starting to learn everything from scratch like a newborn baby. And through inspiration of desperation, you become more creative, you meet your neighbors, and you expand your whole network to the city. It's limitless of what you can do. From being nobody to now standing on the stage, which has been inspiring me for long. And being given the chance to do the same was all possible by taking massive action to solve the problems, to help our community, touch many lives, to know our neighborhoods or neighbors, starting from the neighborhood movement. It's limitless of what you can do, great opportunities. And through that time, I've learned so many lessons that I want to share 3 of them with you. 1, sometimes your whole life boils down to one insane move. Start all over again. Like, be a complete stranger in foreign lands. The universe will either catch you or show you why you need to meet your neighbors. 2, distances, differences, hardships will trigger your creativity. You'll explore your hidden talents. You'll become stronger. You'll find so many ideas. Instead of complaining, you'll turn walls into doors. And connect with your neighbors. Don't hesitate to be the first one to say hi to your neighbors. Your neighborhood connections are one of the most powerful forms of knowledge. Value it. It will change your life. And let me ask you, with 3,000 people, when you have these kind of relationships, meaningful relationships, it turns your friends into family members. Now, I want to ask you, if you ever found yourself on that pavement, sitting on that pavement, knowing that your neighborhood connections will be there for you, how will you turn your pain into something beautiful? Think about it. Thank you.